Is to show you guys how to make a vignette, which if you look at this picture is like a circular shadow around your whole picture. It almost makes like a frame to show your drip, and we're going to do that in Photoshop. There's a couple of different ways that you can do this, and like I told you guys before, there's probably lots of different ways you could do the same thing, but here's two kind of easy ways to do it. The first one is to create your vignette is to do your basic image workflow, then add a layer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the elliptical selection, and not at the very corner, but a little bit in like this. I'm going to click and drag an oval, and kind of while you're doing this, see that it's kind of in the center. And after I use my oval, I want to select this outside area, so I do select inverse. So it's the opposite of what the circle is. Then I'm going to take my paint bucket. I'm going to make sure black is on top, and I'm going to fill this with black. So obviously this is a vignette right here, but I want to make it kind of fade a little bit better. I'm going to deselect this, so select, deselect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a filter to this. So I'm going to go up to Filter, down to Blur, and go to Gaussian Blur. And I'm going to, you can see that you can have different types of effects. I want it to be more of a fade into that, so I'm going to go all the way up as much as I can and say OK. And then you can also mess, if you don't want it to be as black on the edges, you can also mess with the opacity, so it's a little bit more of a fade. Okay, so that's one way to do your vignette, and then you would save it that way. Another way to do your vignette is to go right on top of your picture layer. Make sure that's selected. You go up to Filter, and you can go down to Lens Correction. And in the custom part, you would click on custom over here. In the custom part, there's actually a vignette that you can add to your photo. And if you go one way, it's going to add a lighter vignette, like a light color. If you go the other way and click and drag, it adds a darker color. And sometimes people think this looks a little bit more, I don't know, professional. You can also mess around with where the midpoint is, so you can see your transition will change, and you say OK, and then this would be your vignette. So it all depends on, it's a preferential thing, which look you like better. So do you like that one, or do you like something like that? All right, that's it.